Sampayetia. Obayan Sapusu Mundia one kana some. They map to some Kakre was Supreme. Yo, oh my woman, oh many a mamma. Kenny baby, Yako, watch out, they are Bonsom, one nipa, as I did with you.
All right, so we are very, very sorry for the technical inches right now, but our technicians, they are very intelligent. We are back again, so we are sorry for that. Just exercise some patience for us. We still continue, so just be with us for that. Oyiniba, we are still on the issue. Your comments are welcome on Facebook via WhatsApp to 0542524403 0542524403. Important morning show. My name is Davido Alejandro dos Santos. All the stories that we are dealing in, when you go to our page on Facebook, Papalo Media, they are there. You read them as well. There's a story. Yesterday there was emergency meeting at the Parliament House, and I want to read the article right away, and then after that a little bit of your take on that. And so I told you that the story that we are dealing with right now, it follows in order, and so just follow the stories and then you get to know that what we are talking about is there. Now we are going online and to speak to doctor about the appointment of Dr. Yao Trifo as mortuary and funeral facility agents, or no, yeah, chief executive officer for the appointment. And after that, doctor will be on the line again and will ask him a question based on what Reverend Osafo Ekantanka said, that nobody should use the church pulpit to endorse any political party. So right now we have Apostle Dr. Lauren Success, onu oye religious leader, at the same time youth activist. Our line is so sesia ye pese yeninu entwitwe komo ever this story. Apostle, good morning and welcome to Papalo Radio. This is Important Morning Show.
Good morning, sir.
I hope
a wonderful morning to all your listeners and your viewers across the globe, especially in Ghana.
Thank you, sir. And I hope you are doing well.
I'm bouncing well. The Lord is faithful and you guys are doing a great job. Keep it up.
Thank you, sir. Apostle.
Yes, sir.
Yesterday, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has appointed Dr. Yao Trifo as Chief Executive Officer for mortuaries and funeral facilities. My question is it appropriate? And is it the right time for this kind of appointment? And we all know that we are in economic crisis. Do we need this agency right now?
All right, thank you, sir. This is $1 million question, but I will take time to break it down for your listeners to have a clue about what we are discussing. According to the Constitution of Ghana, the prime prerogative of the government is to make sure that economically the people of Ghana are safe, security-wise, and every other respect. And one of the things we need to understand is the fact that the president is the only appointing authority. In fact, if he even has 48 hours to leave government, he can still appoint. We're in this country when the late Professor Mills appointed some of these ministers to take care of those ministries. When President John Mahama was about leaving office, he did appointment within a month before he left office. So that is another subject for another day. So all that I want to say is the fact that the president has the right, backed by the constitution, the legal instrument of our constitution, which happens to be the soul of the country or the nation, has the right to appoint and then to fire. In other words, hire and fire. And so let's look at Ghana Health Service in retrospection. And then let's look at the Ministry of Health. One thing people don't know is these are separate entities, but they all fall under the Ministry of Health. Now, the Ministry of Health, the minister there is by political appointment. It's a political appointment. So we have Minister for Health. And so within that jurisdiction, we have what we call Ghana Health Service. So here we are talking about the Ghana Health Services. We are talking about Pharmacy Council. We are talking about Food and Drugs Authority. We are talking about Center for Plant and Medicine Research. We are talking about major teaching hospitals. We are talking about Tamale Teaching Hospital, Kolibu Teaching Hospital, Cape Coast Teaching Hospital, O Teaching Hospital, Konfanochi Teaching Hospital, and the likes. So when you talk about the agencies, these are agencies that fall under the Ministry of Health. And in the Ministry of Health, we have what we call Ghana Health Service. And under the Ghana Health Service, we have the Ghana College of Surgeons and Physicians, National Blood Service, Allied Health Professions Council, Ghana College of Pharmacists, Psychology Council, Medical and Dental Council, Nursing and Midwifery Council. So they all fall under one ministry called the Ministry of Health.
Okay.
And the agenda is to make sure that Ghanaians live a healthy and a well organized life in terms of health. So at the end of the day, we have the president appointed somebody to man that particular position. And that position is mortuaries. All right.
Okay.
So somebody will have issue with why mortuary and all that. What we have to look at is the fact that a lot of appointment has been done. Is it necessary?
Yeah, that's my point.
That's right. At the end of the day, we have the Minister for Health.
Yes.
We have various CEOs for these organizations I have mentioned. I think that we can amalgamize or try to create within the same sector. We can still have men and women who can man that particular position. I don't think we need any appointment.
Oh, okay.
Saying this is a CEO of mortuaries and blah blah blah, funerals and all that. At the end of the day, what is the purpose of that appointment? To make sure that things are done right. We always concentrate on the dead, on the living. We have to also concentrate on the dead.
Okay.
Because per tradition, we must honor the dead as well. We must give respect to the dead. So at the end of the day, the mortuaries must be clean. Go to our mortuaries and see what is happening there. Some people don't even have a place or space to even preserve their dead bodies. At the end of the day, some are lying bare on the grounds and all that. If you go to the mortuary, especially Kolibu, the major teaching hospitals, you won't like it. And it will take a lot of time for you to even have appetite for meat or anything that has blood in it.
Okay.
You understand? So at the end of the day, the president can still have anybody from that sector
Okay.
to man that particular position or do justice to those responsibilities or code of conduct or job description. It can be done right without necessarily appointing any other person again to come in. At the end of the day, I see it as a political way of giving job to the boys and all that. As Samuel Uku once said, a job for the boys. We only create, loot and share. At the end of the day, we have people who can really do the job. So we keep creating ministries and department agencies unnecessarily, because at the end of the day, this thing or this appointment will end like some have always ended. We're in this country when the bill for the office of the special prosecutor to be passed, when it was passed, Ghanaians were chanting, booing, screaming, and so excited, especially the anti-corruption crusaders and some of us who think that politicians are taking too much advantage of the citizenry, and it's high time we rise up to the occasion and deal with issues. We're happy. But what has happened, or what has come out of the special prosecutor? I mean, we hear this one is going to be prosecuted, blah, blah, blah. We take them to court, and the next thing is adjournment, and they find their ways to go scot-free. So I think it's in the right direction. Again, one of the reasons is to prevent diseases from spreading.
Yeah, right? That's true.
The place must be kept well. I am not against anybody taking up that challenge, but I'm only against the constant appointment of CEO, constant appointment of government apparatchiks or appointees.
Yeah, because we have hospitals and the health, the Ghana Health Service also taking in charge. What I'm saying is that we have the hospitals taking in charge of when it comes to these dead bodies and other things.
Yeah. So I think on a more serious note, we've gotten to a point where we need to stop these unnecessary appointments and make sure that the men who are already there, those who are on the battlefield, those who are on the field, who qualifies, let's give them the nod. My only problem in African politics is when they know you are even better than their own, they will still make sure they push you out. So time and time and again, we keep making appointments, but nothing comes out of it. So if the appointment has been done, there is nothing we can do. Look at these electoral commissioners who have been appointed. People have made a lot of issue out of it. These are political appointments and all that. What has come out of it? People have actually walked to the court to test the law. All right.
Okay.
At the end of the day, the president still remains the only authority to appoint and to disappoint. In other words, to fire and to hire. So at the end of the day, let's put structures in place and demand accountability. My problem has been the fact that things, finances and monies are always leaked. We have a freezing economy. Monies are leaked every day. The leakages are too many. At the end of the day, we hear the CEO of mortuaries and funeral agencies, blah, blah, blah. The CEO has squandered this amount of money, blah, blah, blah. And the next is history. So I think we have to build confidence in our workers and make sure that the right thing is that.
Okay, Apostle, let's look at this aspect. We know that agencies contain a lot of people who have to work in the agencies, because even if you appoint chief executive officer, that is now you have given an office which is an agency, and we have a lot of people working inside there. And now, per the economic crisis that we are having, how is the appointment going to affect the economy as it stands now? Because he's also going to appoint people who will be in the agencies to work with him.
Yes, basically that's where my worry begins. But our expectations will always hit the rocks, because these people will tell you, we are in government. That is an African politician for you, or a typical politician for you. Now you look at our system of governance. We are not practicing federal system. We are practicing unitary system. In other words, every resources within the country comes to the headquarters.
The headquarters, yes.
The national. So at the end of the day, everybody must have a bit of the cake. But it's not happening. You look at our 16 regions so far. The president, through the legal instrument from Parliament, we went into a referendum, and then we agreed that we want to create more regions. And so by the creation of these new regions, development will be quick, and every region will have a fair share of the natural resources or the resources of the country. The concentration of control in an organization under a single authority is what we call centralization.
Yeah.
But we are practicing decentralization. That is why the president appoints. He has the Minister for Health. We also have the District Health Directorate. We have the municipal and the assembly and all that. It runs, it moves from one rank to another. The rank and file of our constitution give us the right to do all these appointments. So the only thing is, once there is an appointing authority, that's where the politician will say that the district directors or the regional directors keep sabotaging them, and they keep saying that there are a lot of saboteurs. Because come to think of it, I have been working for many years in the health sector. I have been there for maybe 30 years, 35 years. All right?
Okay.
And then you, the politician, who doesn't even know anything about health, because of your government, you are appointed and you come to me to order me around. Will I agree?
No.
Under normal circumstance, there will always be friction or fracas within that sector. So at the end of the day, like you rightly said, the CEO is going to also have his own people on his side. That's the problem with our African politics. Oh, I need my people. It will interest you to know that all those who are already there will be fired indirectly. I mean, you'll be frustrated to a point that you have to be fired or sack yourself, as they always say. On a lighter note, one time your boss will tell you, I will sack you, so I've already sacked myself, because you already know you are going.
Yeah.
So basically, we need to accept the fact that this is how a typical African politician or Ghanaian politician thinks. And so we're in this country when the mortuary men, or whatever they call them, mortuary attendants, right? Yes, the mortuary attendants were always on the rampage, going on strike and all that. I am envisaging that this issue will be curtailed. I mean, the government, through the CEO, will do his possible best to solve this issue of we need better conditions of service, which in reality they deserve it, because taking care of dead bodies, it's not easy. It's not a child's play.
Okay.
At the end of the day, they need to be paid well. So I think, yes, they will have their people around with their cronies, which has always been the norm. But I think it is high time we educate the public, we educate ourselves as politicians, for us to know that we are servants. That's why it's a Ghana Health Service. You are there to serve.
Yeah.
Interestingly, those who want us to allow them to serve us, we are rather serving them. That's the irony of a Ghanaian politician.
Okay, so Apostle, just a minute, your take on this question. What is the positive impact of this appointment? The positive aspect?
In reality, I think there will be a lot of changes in terms of their delivery. Because like I said, you go to some of the mortuaries and you are told that formalin, which is a very popular, drug they use to, preserve dead bodies and all that. Sometimes you go to some of these major hospitals and you are told, especially the government agencies, you are told that we don't even have formalin, the fridge is not even working, and sometimes there's a breakdown and dead bodies are just sometimes when you go to these places, it It's pathetic. It's pathetic. And that is why these private funeral homes have taken advantage. They preserve your body for you. They give you a place to bury your dead. They do almost everything. They preserve the body well. That when you go, you'll be happy. But our people are not fed well. The mortuary men or the mortuary attendants are not being taken good care of. So at the end of the day, they keep begging. You go to them and they will tell you, if you don't give me this, I won't take care of your body. And it has become a norm. So they also keep taking bribe. That's why I said bribery and corruption in Africa or in the world is everywhere. Archaeology to zoology, from the church to the least person here has a way to make money. That has been the thing. So I think the CEO, if only he wants to work, will have to look into the conditions of service of this mortuary attendant and make sure they are happy so that they can deliver to their best of ability. I think there will be a lot of structuring. People will know when to go and visit their dead, when they have to come for their dead, and all that. I mean, the bodies must be kept well.
Okay. Okay, so Apostle, what will be the economic growth with this appointment so far?
Now, a lot of people will change direction. If government, one advantage about government and the...
Apostle, come again. You said there will be change of direction.
Change of direction. I mean, a lot of people, if you compare the price list of government hospitals or mortuaries vis-a-vis the private ones, it's very expensive. I mean, the private ones can skyrocket their prices and all that. There's nothing you can do about it. When you come to the private sector, this is the price. They always have a price tag. If you can afford, that's it. But with the government agencies, that's why some people can take their dead bodies to the government agencies, and for 3 months they have not even visited them. Some even leave them there and not even go back. That's why we have what we call mass barrier. So at the end of the day, if the government mortuaries are affordable, why not? People will start moving from the private funeral homes to the government. I mean, so in respect, will cash in from that regard. At the end of the day, too, it also boosts the morale of even the workers, and the workers will attract others onto the government mortuaries. So it's in the right direction.
Thank you, Apostle. I have another story for you. So I know I'm taking your time, but I need you to tell us your take on this story so far. The chairperson of the Asante Presbytery of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, that is the PCG, Reverend Benson Osafo Kantanka, has urged the church not to use the pulpit to endorse or support any candidate or political party before, during, and after the 2024 presidential and parliamentary election. Your take on this whole story?
All right. Thank you very much. I think I wanted to add something to the mortuary.
Go ahead.
The Mortuaries and Funeral Facilities Act. This act was established in 1998.
Yeah.
And it's part of the Article 563 under Chairman Rawlings, then Chairman Rawlings. The act established a board to control and regulate facilities connected with the storage and disposal of human remains, register practitioners to provide for related matters. Right. So it was later repealed by the new Act of Health Institutions and Facilities in 2011.
In 2011, yes, yeah.
829 under the late President
Atames.
Yes. So basically, we need to know where we are coming from.
Yes. So in fact, the president even made us aware that the appointment is in the 1992 Constitution, whereby he picked it from Article 195, Clause 1 from the Constitution.
That's right. So basically, that's what I wanted to add to that story. And so let's juggle to the next story. who is a politician? That's the first question we need to understand here.
Who is a politician?
Who is a politician? Because at the end of the day, we talk about politics, and then we leave it there. A politician is a person who is professionally involved in politics, especially a holder of an elected office. You understand?
Okay.
A holder of an elected office. So you and I know that politics is business. Politics is business. And so what is politics? It are activities associated with the governance of a country or area. All right?
Yes.
Especially the debate between parties having power. So we have what we call the government in power, or are you there?
I'm there. I'm following the story.
Your line was breaking. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
So we have government with a president who happens to be the head.
Okay.
And then we always have the opposition party. Opposition party is government in waiting, or any party aspiring to take over the reins of government or governance in a country or a nation. Now, why do you think a pastor shouldn't do partisan politics? The message the man of God is putting across, Reverend Kantanka is putting across, is simple. A pastor has under his tutelage a lot of people from different sects, from different backgrounds, from different tribes. You see, the most interesting place and very sensitive place to be is the church. But within the church space, we have Ewes, we have Dagbanis, we have Dagombes, we have Akans, we have name it. We have different
and Asantis and all that. Yeah.
Having one pastor who happens to be their shepherd or leader. And so within the same space, that orgasm, we have how do you call it? We have different opinions. We have different people with different opinions, with different backgrounds. Now, within the church, we have CPP members, we have MPP members, we have NDC members, name it. Ghana has a lot of, it will interest you to know that Ghana has about 20-something political parties. There are many.
Yes.
Those that are even recognized and registered under the Electoral Act. But if you want to even look beyond, there are more uncountable ones.
Wow.
But we have to know that as a leader, you don't have to take sides.
Okay.
Because anybody can come to you for advice. So when you use the pulpit to push an agenda for one particular party, you are not helping the church. You are bringing dissension, you are bringing contention, you are bringing confusion within the church body. Because within the church, we already have politics, if you don't know. Because of time, I will break it down.
Okay.
Within the church, we have politics. There are church members who don't like the singer who came to sing last week. They like the one who sang this week. So
okay.
It's politics.
Okay.
The moment people make choices between A and B, it is politics.
Okay.
It's in the Bible that the women were crying loud. They were chanting and booing, saying, David has killed 10,000, tens of thousands. All right?
Yeah.
And Saul had killed thousands. So it's politics.
Division.
So some were on Saul's side and some were on David's side. That is the reality we have to embrace. At the end of the day, pastors shouldn't do partisan politics.
Okay.
But I know who to vote for as a pastor. The pastor should have his vote in his head. So I can welcome anybody to church. I, for one, think that when they come, don't give them a special seat. They are also members. Where the members are seated, that's why I love the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church has pews, those old hard chairs, where about 10 people can be on one pew. When the politicians come, let them sit there. Don't give them any special seat. They are just like us. They are equal like us. and we are equal like them.
Oh, so it's wrong when they visit us in the church and we give them a special seat.
Why do you give them special treat and special seat? Why? Is it because it's a politician? We equally have people who are managing affairs in their various offices and homes. Leadership starts from home. Leadership starts from home. Everybody from home has a leadership role.
But Apostle, even in the church, I'm not drawing you back, but even in the church, when somebody visits us, let's take for example, somebody from different church visit us, and he or she has a position in the church, whether be a bishop or a pastor in a high rank. When they visit the church, we don't allow them to sit in the midst of the congregation. We give them a different seat.
That is where the issue starts. That's where the problem begins. Because you make them feel good and you are not chastising them about how they mismanage public funds and how they keep creating looting and sharing public funds. How many politicians are able to speak truth to power? How many? And how many pastors are able to speak truth to power? How many officers of the military or the police force are able to speak truth to power?
Okay.
Just yesterday, a loan has been approved. 713 million has been approved.
Yes.
People don't know. It has been approved. Meanwhile, we are claiming we need money and we are still borrowing.
Exactly.
So when the politicians come, as a pastor, you should rather tell them to do the needful, but not to even accept them and try to lure your members to, vote for them. Well, in this country, when a prophet came out to say that MPP will win, God has appointed Nanado to take us to the promised land. I'm asking, are we on the promised land now? Are we there now? And he has always been consistent with MPP matters. And in his church, the tag now is they are MPP church. Tell me I'm lying. There are people who have been tagged that this is an NDC church, which is an MPP church. Why? So I think with the Orthodoxian orders, they don't subscribe to this illegality. They are always in order. They like order and discipline. So the Catholic Church will not allow you to use the pulpit to do that. The pulpit
not at all. Not at all.
Pull people out of the pit. It's not for politics. So the pulpit is not for politics. It's to pull people out of the pit. So
the pulpit is not for politics.
It's to pull people out of the pit. It's to win souls. That's all.
Okay, please jot it down. The pulpit is not for politics.
Yeah, it's not for politics. So at the end of the day, it's in the right direction. I support it with 25,000 bags of cement. And I agree with the fact that the pulpit shouldn't be a place for politics. You don't have to let the politician feel good about it and say this is the one you need to vote for. It is too many and it is not acceptable.
Okay, so Apostle, before I leave you and you go, my question is, sometime we will be there, as you were saying, we will be there in the church, and they themselves, we don't invite them, them themselves, they will come, that they are coming to visit us today, and when before they will go, we give them mic to tell us something small, and they end up doing politics, vote for me, and those kind of things. Should that be allowed, and is it right?
It's not wrong for a politician to enter church and share his view about what he has in mind, or what he will propagate when he's given the nod or the power. But the fact still remains the same. Don't say that vote for this person. That is the message Reverend Kantanka is putting across. When it happens like that, it means you have taken sides. And you are not helping your people, because at the end of the day, now when you are, imagine my pastor saying vote for NDC. Meanwhile, I am an MPP member. So you can see the perception I'll have about my pastor.
Yeah.
And that can
Chaos.
even take the people away from God.
Mm.
And don't forget that the church is the moral fiber of our society. The church happens to be in charge of the moral fiber of our society. Do you know why our society morals are broken down? Because the church is sick today. The church is sick. If the church is healed, you will see the kind of attitude or behavior or character will raise in this dispensation. The moral fiber of our society has broken down because the church is not up and doing. So I think it's not wrong for anybody. We're in church when somebody who was vying for the position of assembly member, they come. And this is what I want to do, security and street light, blah, blah, blah. We say, okay, we hear you. And another person will come. He said, I'll concentrate on helping those who are homeless to get a place to sleep, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, let the people decide who they vote for. So I think
okay,
right direction.
Apostle, your final words before you go to.
I think the nation needs more of competent people, and so let's raise more of these competent people to take the reins of governance. At the end of the day, let's also become vocal or vociferous. Let's speak out. The government, through the national security, is pushing an agenda, and the agenda is that see something, say something. So whatever you see, say something. Don't keep quiet. My message. Thank you.
Okay, Apostle, thank you so much for your deep solutions to these challenges that we are facing right now. We thank you for your time, for highlighting some of the solutions that we need to go through them. So we thank you for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you too. So that was Apostle Dr. Lawrence Success, who happens to be a religious leader and also youth activist. Ono ena yeninu atwitwe nkomo sesia no. Wachire ye nyama bebre says say for the aspects of the appointment no de anka the right time and the anka enye sesia, but he also made us aware that His Excellency also stand on the 1992 Constitution, which is Article 195 Clause 1, and now the years appointment no, and we shouldn't forget say most of our president, the past ones, almost do Mpɔtam free office no, they also made an appointment. But is it right? Is it the right time to do that? And Apostle also say we are always thinking about the living, but the dead too. We also have to take care of the bodies too as well, to prevent diseases and sicknesses. And so we here, but Audrey will say, since we have the hospitals who are taking care of those things, nanka because so we economic crisis anka by this time dear anka enu dear ehu here. And then back to the what Apostle or Reverend Osafo Kantanka Benson and so eka or cheche mu bebre or see the key point there is that if you are a pastor or you are a man of God, the pulpit is not for politics. That's all. And a woman say politics no a business. Or who a politician is. And so the quote that is there from his speech from Apostle Dr. Lawrence Success. Quota yedi 2 year page uko wa obekwa ko hu de oka ye ni nyina yedi betu year page ni so na wonso wako read wa maye very intelligent editorial and solutions to the issue that we just digest it right now. See, the pulpit is not for politics. Ahanmu and yedi wenu ebe to, but before and yedi these stories no ebe to one, but I told you say when you go to our page when yaka wasem yedi be to page no na yɛne atwitwe nkɔmmɔ so far. And right now mika kyerɛ sɛ apostle kra ɛbɔ so na kyerɛ sɛ apostle deɛ he's always updating himself, and so mika kyerɛ sɛ yesterday there was an emergency meeting at the Parliament House, and so I'm reading what happened at the Parliament House. So let's go for a quick break, and when we return I'll go through the article, and after that we'll be speaking to one of our finest obetimi acheche that kind of story any Luna Oma approving so far from World Bank. So stick and stay with us. We'll be right back.
Asampayetia Obayansafusu wo munibia wanka na asam Zema futu sam kakre wa asupeme Yo kofi Omani ya woman Omani ya memana Genyi bebi ako Wachaza ya warenyi Ponsom wanini pa Asadipa wofyoye Yamo yemberaye ebe ya ifiyana Amaya umano Amaya mamana Adiwaye noya Namichata Yemana renya Wanso wanyipa Sawaya wanabe Yamo yemberaye ebe ya ifiyana Wanso wanyipa Nazadepa ofyoyo Kamo yemberaye ebe ya ifiyana.
Alright, so welcome back again. We have some few minutes to go, and so we have to be on the run to make sure say we go by the time that we have here so far. Right before the break, I made you aware that yesterday there was an emergency meeting at the Parliament House where during the sittings of the Parliament sittings, they approved 7 loans, and that loan will amount, the total amount is $710 million. And my question is, all those loans, but before the loan in this country, when we are in trouble, the only thing that comes into our mind, or when we go into economic crisis, the only thing that comes into our mind is that loan. We have to go and borrow. There is nobody that have the think tank apart from borrowing to solve the issue, to bring up something and the ways, plans to solve the economic crisis. But rather what we do is that we borrow. Now we are borrowing and we are borrowing and we are borrowing and we are borrowing. Now people have seen us that this country is a borrowing time. It's a borrowing country. And so even when we are borrowing, they will not give it to us. So you see the president walking from year to year. Recently, we saw the president with the prime minister of Japan, Kimio Kindash, are begging to say they should come on board and beg the IMF to give them the 3 billion loan. That is China. Yeah. And so today we will not be able to delve deep into the story, but tomorrow we are promising you that we are bringing a well-resourced person will be asking him so many questions based on these stories, based on this loan, these 7 approved loans are omaji or anase omaji edi free word bank no yeni sa person no yebetwitwi nkomo and so I'm just giving you a brief aspect of the story so far, and in the you also have to involve yourself into that story so far, and so your comment and your opinion are welcome so far. And see and yedi the issue no ebesi and then Ohiniba Kofi Prince, before I ever come your take so far on Papa's delivery on the issue so far, and then your final words shortly, and then
okay. Now I can say I'm saying Papa Wakasa Bebre.
Okay.
And I want the youths but they come, you see youth no more my home coin for the politicians to suck our blood with their money. I beg you, we shouldn't allow the politicians to suck our blood with their money. So about to a basono, we should be vigilant. We need development. We don't need a position. We need development. And also to the pastors, please don't use the pulpit to do politics. As our father said, don't use the pulpit to do politics. Do the right thing and advise. When it is bad, say it is bad. When it is good, say it is good. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Ohiniba Kofi Prince happens to be PhD holder on Oyemi co-host on the Mpɔtam Morning Show, and this is where we draw the curtains on Mpɔtam Morning Show live on Facebook. We are also streaming live on YouTube as well. You can follow us on all the social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We are there. Just follow us and make sure that you also send the link to your friends and group for them to also join what we are talking about. We are thinking about you. So a big thanks go to my producer Jude GH, always on point and giving the stories, making sure he direct us when, how to go about these stories. And also a big shout out go to Kofi Yesu, and then our own beautiful lady Gifty Anan, and also we also greet don't forget after this too will be coming your way with the Ghana Insensem, and so we have a lot of packages for you. And so if you don't hear from us again, tomorrow will be coming your way again. I love you so much, but do what is right and live peaceably with all men. I never lose, I either win or I learn. The pulpit is not for politics. Good morning.